Hello everyone, bonjour à tous. First, I would like to thank everyone that has been watching the previous video. I was not expecting that at all. I have created the flashcard system for my students. So I was really surprised that the video received so many views, but I'm delighted. Thank you very much. I also want to apologize because I kind of put one video and then left. But I was in vacation, and because I have my students, I don't always have the time to create like full-blown videos, but I will try to be more regular and post little lessons more often. So yeah, I'm not promising that we'll have one video a week because I feel that would be insane with my current schedule. As of today's video, we are going to build on the vocabulary that would have been learning till now. So this is, after you've been learning vocabulary, French vocabulary for a while, and we want to start organizing the vocabulary in order to be able to make sentence. So today we are going to see a few elements. So first, the first element that I want to discuss, the first thing I want to discuss is why we're struggling to move from learning vocabulary to be able to express ourselves in French. The second thing that I want to address is how can we fix this? How can we address that difficulty? The third element, the third section that we will do today is learning about the element of a sentence that is the subject. Then we're going to continue with an introduction to the nominal group. We will practice with a few exercises, and then I will give you a recommendation for a home practice. Let's get started. So why are we struggling to move from learning vocabulary to be able to speak in French? I think that oftentimes people, they're too reliant on apps, they're too reliant on content from French learners, they're too reliant on just using flashcards and trying to memorize vocabulary. Vocabulary is just one tool that we use to then be able to speak. But we have to move to how do we make a sentence, okay? And we have to understand that different words are used differently. So we do that with the flashcard system. The second issue that people have is, of course, because they don't see themselves making progress, it's really hard to stay motivated and to keep a regular practice. But I really want you to picture, a child learning how to play the piano or learning how to play the guitar. Going to class every now and then is very important, but home practice is essential, okay? And so you will have to do regular practice, you will have to do home practice. The other thing I want to discuss is that learning a language is like a marathon. And in that case, the allegory is more, the image is more like the one of someone going to the gym at the beginning of the year. You can decide, to go to the gym 5 times a week and become very fit for summer. Or you can decide to, change your behavior and start with 1 time a week and then increase as you go. You will have much more chances of sticking with the gym practice if you do it once a week and then increase when the habit is built. With learning French, it's the same. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And oftentimes with apps and with how people, they're over-performative nowadays. They want, to treat it as a sprint, but it's really a marathon. It takes time, and the depth of your learning would increase as you will spend more time with the language and the culture. The third, kind of pitfall that I see people fall into is like they don't have a clear path. And I see that with teachers as well, like they teach things one after the other without an idea of where they want to go. And whenever you want to create sentences and you want to be able to, speak, they don't have a thread to stick to. And it's very, very important because French is a whole different language. So you need to understand the code and the formula and how sentences are built to be able to keep that in mind whenever you want to say something. So the flashcard system We'll address that because first it will teach you how to learn vocabulary with the pictures and the spelling of words and the video so that you can practice saying the word correctly. It will help you understand that not all words are the same and there are different types of words and they are placed at different place in a sentence. They're used differently. It will also teach you the basic structure of a sentence, enabling you to create your own sentences and be able to write, be able to read, be able to listen to French people and be able to speak. And also, it's a very good home practice that you can do at your own pace. So, as of that, we move on to the subject. Le sujet, the subject, le sujet. So it's really the first element of a sentence that we put on paper. The subject represents the person or the thing that is doing the action. Il représente la personne ou la chose qui a fait l'action. For today, we are going to focus on nouns and pronouns, but you have to know that it can also be verbs and sentences. This will be seen much later in the future. Pour aujourd'hui, nous allons nous focaliser sur les noms et les pronoms, mais il faut savoir qu'un sujet peut aussi être un verbe ou une phrase. As I said, we're going to look at nouns and pronouns. Donc, the noun, le nom. A noun can represent a person, an animal, or an object. The noun. A noun can represent a person or an animal. In that case, we're talking about animated nouns, or an object, a concept, a feeling, an idea. In that case, we're talking about inanimated nouns. A noun can be concrete or abstract, as well as countable or uncountable. Concrete will be a glass bottle, a phone, a notebook, etc. And abstract could be love, for example. Countable could be pens, and uncountable would be sand, would be uncountable. Un nom peut représenter un être animé, animal ou personne, ou un être inanimé, un objet, concept, sentiment, idée. Un nom peut aussi être abstrait ou concret. Abstrait sera par exemple un sentiment, la colère, l'amour, et concret sera un cahier, des crayons, un verre, etc. Un nom peut aussi être comptable ou non comptable. Comptable, par exemple des crayons comme nous avons dit, ou non comptable comme du sable. Le nom peut être remplacé dans la phrase par un pronom afin d'éviter les répétitions et de créer une différenciation. A pronoun's purpose is really to replace a word or a group of words in a sentence in order to avoid repetition or create differentiation. For today, we're going to focus on subject pronoun, the first type of pronoun. This is not the only one that we will see. The subject pronoun replaces a subject in order to simplify the sentence by avoiding repetition. Le pronom personnel sujet remplace le sujet afin de simplifier la phrase en évitant les répétitions. Par exemple, Jessica plays the piano. Jessica started at 8 and Jessica is really good now. In reality, we would say something like Jessica plays the piano, she started at 8 and she is really good now. So we remove Jessica and we replaced it by she after the first time. En français, Jessica joue du piano, Jessica a commencé à 8 ans et Jessica est très bonne maintenant. Jessica joue du piano, elle a commencé à 8 ans et elle est très bonne maintenant. So, let's dive in. The subject pronoun, les pronoms personnels sujets, are divided in two categories. They are divided in two categories. Singular, singulier, plural, pluriel. First person singular, we always start counting with ourselves. Je, I. Second person singular, the person in front of you. Tu, you. To be noted that this is very informal and it's mostly used with people that you already know. Third person singular, il, he, elle, she, on, meaning an unknown person. Third person means they are outside of this conversation we're having. Now, pluriel, plural. Je plus une personne est égal à nous. Je plus one person is nous. Nous means we. Second person plural. Vous means you. Formal. As we said, we use second person singular, meaning informal. But when we want to be formal, we would use vous. Tu or vous plus one person is also vous. Vous means you, plural. Third person singular, il, des, elle, they. What's the difference between il et elle? Elle is for only feminine third person, et il is for both only masculine or masculine and feminine together. Now, as you notice, we don't pronounce the S's, il, elle, vous, nous. We will learn that when we talk about syllables. As a practice, you will have to choose the correct subject pronoun to replace the following nouns or nominal group. Donc, choisis le pronom personnel sujet correct pour remplacer les noms et groupes nominaux suivants. I'm going to read all of them. I'm going to give you 5 seconds or so. You can pause the video, and then I will give you the answer. Thérèse, Dimitri, toi, moi, Johnny et moi, Émilie et Jérémy, tes enfants et toi, la table. I'll read another time. Thérèse, Dimitri, toi, moi, Johnny et moi, Émilie et Jérémy, tes enfants et toi, la table. You can pause here. I'm going to give you the answer immediately. Thérèse, elle. Dimitri, il. Toi, tu. Moi, je. Johnny et moi, nous. Émilie et Jérémy, il. Tes enfants et toi, vous. La table, she. Very nice. Let's move on. Now we're going to see the biggest section of today's class with the nominal group. The nominal group is a very, very, very important concept because we're going to see it as a subject, as an object, as a circumstantial complement. We see it at many different places within a sentence. So it's very, very, very important. What is a nominal group? A nominal group is a group of words based around a main noun. This noun can either be a common noun or a proper noun. Common noun is everyday thing and specific things. A proper noun is something that is unique. For example, the Atlantic Ocean, l'océan Atlantique, la France, France, Victor Hugo, etc., etc. Those are proper nouns. Le groupe nominal est un groupe de mots. Bad girl, ladies. Bad girl. Est un groupe de mots basé autour d'un nom principal. Ce nom peut être un nom commun ou un nom propre. Donc, nom commun, les choses de la vie quotidienne. Un nom propre, Victor Hugo, l'océan Atlantique, la France, la Seine, etc. The first example of a nominal group that you will see is déterminant plus nom. So, within the flashcard system, the determiner, they all have this light green border. The nouns, they all have this blue border. So we take one green one and one blue one. That's it. Le ballon. Ta poupée. Les poupées. You can notice that poupée has a pink border. That means the noun is feminine. If the noun is feminine, the determiner needs to be feminine. So ta poupée we are going to use a feminine determiner and a feminine noun. But now in plural, there is no border because the plural determiner is the same. Les poupées. And then I added the S for the plural. Okay, let's move on. The second group, nominal group that we're going to see is déterminant plus le nom plus adjectif qualificatif. So determiner plus noun plus qualificatif adjective. En français, l'adjectif qualificatif est après le nom. In French, most of the time, the adjective qualificative is going to be after the noun. What is an adjective, a qualificative adjective? A qualificative adjective is going to provide you with more information about the noun. In French, it's usually located after the nouns it qualifies. Donc, l'adjectif qualificatif fournit plus d'informations sur le nom. Il est habituellement placé après le nom qu'il qualifie. Le ballon orange. Le ballon orange. Ta poupée douce. La poupée douce. Ta poupée douce. Les poupées bleues. Les poupées bleues. In regards to the agreement of the adjective qualificative, we're going to add the E when the noun is feminine, and we're going to add the S when the noun is plural. So we add the E for feminine, and we add the S for plural. E-S. Good. Let's move on. So as I said, this is a general rule, but one thing you will learn in French is like we have a lot of exceptions. I'm sorry about it. There is nothing I can do about it. So we have to learn. Some adjectives, they will be placed before the noun. So I gave you a non-exhaustive list over here. This is very much an exception, but you have to practice correctly. Le petit ballon. Le petit ballon. Ta vieille poupée. La vieille poupée. Les belles poupées. Les belles poupées. So we note that for the adjective, they have a dark green outer layer. And when they are placed in front, when they should be placed in front of the noun, they have a lighter blue edge. The normal adjective do not only have one edge. The one that goes before the noun have two edges. So now we're going to practice. All right. So I give you a main noun, and you have to select among those various elements which one you need to choose. The main noun is table, the blue edge, the pink edge. You can pause here, have a look. We have le, la, c'est, beau, belle, il. You can pause here, and now the answer. You could write la belle table, the beautiful table, or you could write ses belles tables, his beautiful tables. All right, let's do another one. I selected the main noun papy, grandpa, and the various elements I selected is ta, ton, tes, curieux, vieux, petit, petite, vieux, vieille, petit, petite. You can pause here, make the different combination, and we're going to correct now. So here we have many options. I could write ton papy curieux, tes papys curieux. Ton papy curieux, tes papys curieux. I could write ton vieux papy, tes vieux papys, ton petit papy, tes petits papys. Ton vieux papy, tes vieux papys, ton petit papy, et tes petits papys. Very nice. All right, so now we're going to conclude today's session. At home, I want you to select a few of the flashcards with determiner, adjectives, and nouns, and I want you to practice making a few nominal groups, right? Try to describe your family members, for example, elements that you have in your house, and, just write different nominal groups. We're going to use them a lot instead of subject. So for next session, you have your exercise to do. Please write down in the comments some of the nominal groups you can create. And then, of course, if I have time, I will try to respond. And, if it needs correction, I will try to provide it. But yeah, that's the home practice. For next session, we are going to continue with the nominal group. We're going to introduce the verbs, so the next element of the sentence structure, and learn how to conjugate in the present tense. We are going to introduce, I hope, if it's too long, I won't do it, but I will hope to introduce like the objects in a sentence. So first element, the subject, then the verb, the action, then the object, what received the action. So I hope we have time to do that in one session, but I'm very ambitious. And then next session, I would like for us to practice some reading exercise, listening exercise, and writing exercise. Today, we did practice a little bit of writing exercise, but next session, we'll do more. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you're not subscribed, do subscribe. That would be great for me. And yeah, I hope I see you soon. Have a very lovely day and goodbye. Au revoir.